Colorado State professor disputes global warming is human-caused. See, this is reasonable, and this is what the science matches. The Daily Reporter Herald, global warming is happening, but humans are not the cause. You see, I would just change that to radical climate change is happening. But humans are not the cause, one of the nation's top experts on hurricanes said Monday. Bill Gray, we're trying to get on, who has studied tropical meteorology for more than 40 years, spoke at the Larimer County Republican Club breakfast about global warming and whether humans are to blame. About 50 people were at the talk. Gray, who was a professor at Colorado State University, said human-induced global warming is a fear perpetrated by the media and scientists who were trying to get federal grants, and that is part of it. I think we are coming out of the little ice age, and warming is due to changes to ocean circulation patterns due to salinity variations, Gray said. I'm sure that's it. But he's like every other scientist I've ever known. He's looking at his one area of expertise and study. I, on the other hand, am not a scientist. I have just gone out and voraciously read what the majority, what the body of different scientific experts in different fields have said. And I've looked at scientists and different scientific bodies that have had good track records in the past with accurate analysis. And you know what they're saying? They're saying we're having very serious climate change and that human activity is negligible in the overall compared to other inputs such as volcanoes, such as natural forest fires and things of that nature. But then even those inputs or global climate changing engines pale in significance themselves to that gigantic ball of burning gas at the center of our solar system that we orbit here happily, my friends. That's the real problem. And if you will simply type into Google sun brighter or sun entering brightest cycle, the scientists thought the last 11.5-year cycle was the greatest ever recorded. Now they're saying that the new cycle is already online to dwarf that cycle. And then hold on to your hat. I know I've talked about this quite a bit, but it's pretty darn important. The new sun cycle may be 50% brighter than the previous cycle. And if it is, it's definitely online to be much brighter than the last one. And they're saying if it continues to heat up and increase its burn rate, that is the nuclear reactions going on in its furnace, that it may be 50% brighter by the time the cycle peaks about 7 years from now. And folks, if that happens, Lord knows what's going to develop. NASA doesn't know, no one knows, but you better believe this. It is, in the short term, going to accelerate global warming, and then global warming itself, if it's too quick, then triggers a massive cooling that has to do with precipitation, and then they get these flash freezes in the north, and then suddenly polar ice caps get much larger almost overnight in the scheme of time, and it gets off into all these other calculations. The point is, no global tax is going to save us from the sun heating up. No global tax is going to save us. I mean, again, even if our cars were doing this, what does a global tax selectively put on the Western world, on our industries and on our transportation? What is that going to do to stop the end of the world? Oh, my gosh, save me, Al Gore. Let me sit in your lap. Oh, please. It's an emotional salve. It is nothing but a crisis to bring in world government. What happened 20 years ago? The patents for DuPont and Dow Chemical ran out on Freon. They openly went and lobbied the UN. They went and openly lobbied the federal government. They put out junk science that CFCs were eating the ozone layer and the Earth was going to die. We were all going to be dead if we didn't switch over to these new patented chemicals that they had in this new refrigeration and air conditioning system, and they forced the entire globe over to it, and here we are. But then on the other hand, they tell you our cars create too much ozone, our engines do, and so there's Ozone Action Day. Oh, there's deadly ozone everywhere, but it's dying in the atmosphere. CFCs, It's just another scam. So good. If it feels good, look, be scammed. Don't listen to me. Enjoy yourselves. Paul, what do you think? Kind of lay out some of the issues you're about to cover, and then tell us which one you want to get into first.
Well, you were just talking about global warming. You can go to space.com. You can go to newscientist.com and read about global warming on Pluto. Read about global warming on Jupiter. I don't see many SUVs on Pluto or Jupiter.
No, it's just the SUV's fault. We need a global UN tax, and that will fix it.
It's all, perception is reality.